Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, it's me Dela Durasma and my student number 21130420441. On this occasion, I'd like to share to you 7 videos that I have watched. They are old videos from my YouTube history. Some of them are new videos that I recently watched. This video is also an assignment for the intermediate listening course, and I have also put the link of the original video in the description box. So if you want to watch the original video, you can go there. Yeah, I also write question list and summarize for each video. Well, let's start with the first video. It's about titled Study Less, Study Smart by Dr. Marty Lobdell. This video is almost an hour long, discuss about how to study effectively. Yeah, okay, let's just go to the first question. Question number one. What did you expect after watching the video? As the title implies, study less, study smart. After watching the video, we are expected to know how to study smart in a shorter time and more effortless by applying the 7 tips mentioned in the video. Question number 2. Mention the tips for study less, study smart given by Dr. Lobdell. Tip number 1 is to break your studying into chunked sessions. Tip number 2 is to create a dedicated study area. Third tip is to study actively. The fourth tip is to take more effective notes. The fifth tip is to summarize or teach what you have learned to somebody else. Tip number 6 is to use your textbook correctly. And the final tip is to use mnemonics when studying facts. The third question. Write down the quotes given by Dr. Lobdell about study actively. So the quote is, the more active you are in your learning, the more effective you'll be. The question number 4. What is the difference between facts and concept in learning? Alright, a fact is just something that you need to remember. Besides, concepts are more important than facts because once you learn about a concept, it means you truly understand its inner workings. Okay, summary for this video. Many students study hard, even too hard, but don't get maximum learning results. Following to this video, study less, study smart. You will know how to study effectively with less time so that the remaining time you can still use it for other activities that you like or you want to do. Uh, the tips are number 1 is to break your studying into chunks session. Tip number 2 is to create a dedicated study area. The third tip is to study actively. The fourth tip is to take more effective notes. The fifth tip is to summarize or teach what you have learned to somebody else. The tips number 6 is to use your textbook correctly. And the final tip is to use mnemonics when studying facts. As you keep doing this, you are going to be able to study effectively, fun, but with maximum results. Okay, second video entitled Why Humans Run the World by Yuval Noah Harari. So he is a historian, philosopher, and best-selling author of Sapiens and Homo Deus about story of humankind. Okay, the first question. Wait. And question number 1. What does Harari think of our ancestors? Okay, 70,000 years ago, our ancestors were insignificant animals. The most important things to know about prehistoric humans is that they were unimportant. Their impact on the world was not much greater than that of jellyfish or fireflies or spiders, he said so. Question number 2. How did Homo sapiens make it to the 21st century without becoming extinct like the other human species? Why sapiens can conquer the world? Yeah, humans can control the planet because they are the only animals that can cooperate both flexibly and in a very large number. The only animal that can combine the two abilities together and cooperate both flexibly and still do so in a very large number is us, Homo sapiens. We humans control the world because we live in a dual reality. All other animals live in an objective reality. Their reality consists of objective entities such as rivers, trees, land, apple, and so on. But over the centuries, we, as a Homo sapiens, we have constructed on top of this objective reality a second layer of fictional reality, a reality made of fictional entities like nation, gods, money, corporation, and so on. He said so. And what is amazing is that as a history unfolded, this fictional reality became more and more powerful so that today the most powerful forces in the world are these fictional entities. In the Industrial Revolution, we saw the creation of a new class of the urban proletariat, and much of the political and social history of the last 200 years involve what to do with this class and new problems and opportunities. Question number three. What enabled us to cooperate in such way? The answer is our imagination. We can cooperate flexibly with countless numbers of strangers because we learn of all the animals on the planet can create and believe fictional stories, and as long as everybody believes in the same fictions, everybody obeys and follows the same rules. Only humans believe such stories, which is why we control the world. And question number four. What do you think about your false statement that God is the result of human imagination? Yeah, as a person or human that have religion, and I do believe in God. Of course, I don't agree with this statement. On the other hand, I believe that God is real and that He created us all, and He can talk like that. You will talk like that because I can say that he's a liberalism thinker. Of course, everyone is free to have an opinion. Yeah, do you know the jokes that strengthen your faith before reading your false book? Make sure your faith is strong before reading his book. Okay. Summary for this video. 70,000 years ago, our ancestors were insignificant animals. The impact on the world was not much greater than that of jellyfish or fireflies or woodpeckers. Today, in contrast, we control this planet. Humans control the planet because they are the only animals that can cooperate but flexibly and in a very large number. What enables us alone of all the times animals to cooperate in such a way? The answer is our imagination. We can cooperate flexibly with countless number of strangers because we uh, can create and believe fiction. Only humans believe such stories, which is why we control the world. And to conclude, then, we humans control the world because we live in dual reality, objective reality and subjective reality. Well, that was the second video. No, the third video is about, yeah, the title is Former FBI Agent Explains How to Read Body Language. Okay, this is an interesting video because it discusses about something that uh not might be, it's always happen in our daily life. The question number one, what is nonverbal communication? So, nonverbal communication is any form of communication that doesn't use the spoken word. It's commonly associated with body language. And question number two, give one example of misconceptions related to nonverbal communication. An example of misconception in interpreting nonverbal communication is that if the person clears their throat like or touch their nose or cover their mouth, they are lying. It's not true. It's just misconception about nonverbal communication. And the third, what is arms of Kimbo means? Arms of Kimbo is an act when we put our hands on our hips and we become very territorial because of some things at issues. I number question number four, why is it important to understand nonverbal communication? Yeah, it is important because uh, we must be skilled in using nonverbal communication to avoid misinterpretation of the message conveyed and will cause misunderstanding between each other. And summary for this video. Nonverbal communication is any form of communication that doesn't use the spoken words. It's commonly associated with body language. When we study nonverbals, it's not about making judgment. It's about assessing what is this person transmitting in that moment. We must be understand and skilled in using nonverbal communication to avoid misinterpretation of the message conveyed, which will cause misunderstanding between each other. The next video, the Shauna Barber. Giving up is the birthplace of regrets. This is a motivational video. Yeah, when you might be tired and want to give up, motivational videos can be one of medicine I can say that you use to recharge your body, your mind, enthusiasm, hard work. Yeah, about how other people go through their difficulties to become successful like they are now. Such kind of video. Question number one. Who the sauna barber is? So, the sauna barber is the captain in the U.S. Air Reserve as known as an American beauty pageant title holder. Number two, tell briefly the story of the sauna to win Miss USA. In the summer of 2009, 2009, she was working in the women's clothing department. When she doing her job, she noticed a lady staring at her. The lady slowly approached and greeted her. That lady also said that she is very beautiful and like Miss USA. Finally, after having 6 failures in December 2015, she won Miss District of Columbia, USA, and 6 months after that, in June 2016, she became the first soldier to win Miss USA. But unfortunately, the women who had motivated her to take part in the Miss USA competition was died because of leukemia. Yeah, before she can tell that lady about the great news that she won Miss USA. The question number three. Write a quote from the sauna. So in that video, the sauna said, giving up is the birth of regrets. And the last question for this video. What are her expectation as a speaker for the audience? Yeah, her expectation of the audience after hearing her speech is to not take no for an answer. Keep up the good work and don't stop there. Believe so heavily in your aspiration that you too will not fear the word no, but and you will choose the welcome this. So never quit. And the summary for this video. Deshona Barber is a captain in the U.S. Air Reserve and known as an American beauty pageant title holder. In June 2016, she became the first soldier to win Miss USA. Because of her story, she gave a speech, Never Quit, as she said that giving up is the birthplace of regret, so we should never quit. Keep going, keep trying, don't stop there, and believe so heavily in your aspiration that you won't feel the word no, but you would choose to welcome this. So, all right, for the next video and question number one. What did the economic historian Bradford Sloan do in observing the world's economic production over the last million years? So, what did he do is try to piece together the total world economic production. It's about how much valuable stuff humanity as a whole can produce. Number two, why is growth now so much faster than in the past? Because for nearly all of human history, people lived similarly to the way their grandparents live, unlike what we expected today. Most people did not see major changes in living standards, technology, and economic productions over their lifetimes. Question number three. How did the Industrial Revolution shape the way we live and the way we think? Give an example that is happening right now. The answer for this question. The Industrial Revolution was a major and radical change in the way humans produce goods. Every major change that occurs is always followed by a major changes in the economic, political, even military and cultural fields. There are millions of old jobs disappear and new jobs appear. The loss or reduction of a job will automatically change many aspects of social life. Our identity will be affected as well as everything related, privacy, understanding of own sleep, consumption patterns, time devoted to work and leisure, the way we develop careers and improve skills, meet other people, and maintain relationships. It embeds intelligent technology that can connect with various areas of human life. Many things that were unthinkable before suddenly appeared and became new innovation and opened up a very large business area. The really classic example that is happening right now is the emergence of ride-sharing transportation systems such as Gojek and Grab, Maxim. The presence of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and now 5.0 indeed present new business, new job, and new profession that were though not thought of before. The way of human life becomes more practical and fast with this invention. But on the other hand, it makes humans dependent. If this technology, like Gojek, Grab, Maxim, and so on, suddenly disappear or destroyed, humans will find it difficult to adapt again. The fourth question. Explain what you know about three inputs to economic production that determine the overall size of the economy. So, in academic models of economic growth, there are roughly three inputs to economic production that determine the overall size of the economy. These inputs are population, capital, and technology. Population is the most intuitive part. Input, yeah, it just means by how many workers there are in a society. Capital is another term of equipment and supplies like machines, roads, and buildings that allow workers to produce stuff. Technology is what joins these two inputs together. Summary for this video. Nearly all of human history, people lived similarly to the way their grandparents lived. Unlike what we expected today, most people did not see major changes in living standards, technology, and economic production over their lifetime, a period we now refer to as Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was a major and radical change in the way humans produce goods. It assembled intelligent technology that can connect with various areas of human life. Every major change that occurs in is always followed by a major changes in the economic, political, even military and cultural fields. The presence of this industrial revolution has shaped the way we live and the way we think. Everything becomes more practical. Yeah, our time has been free to pursue different activities, but on the other hand, it makes humans dependent on technology. Sorry for that. Okay, the next video. Or this takes time to just speaking like this, but really make it trustful. What is the next video talking about? Oh, I think it's wait. Okay, the next video. It's coming from Lera Borodetsky. How language shapes the way we think. Yeah, this is the sixth video. And its relation to the language and culture or geographically, and how language differences and in different place shape the way we think. Question number one. Does the language we speak shape the way we think? Yes, it does. The language guides our reasoning about events. Now I've uh, given you a few examples of how language can profoundly shape the way we think, and it does so in a variety of ways. These are really simple, basic, and perceptual decisions. We make thousands of them all of the time, and yet language is getting in there, confusing even with these tiny little perceptual decisions that we make. That means language can shape how you're thinking about anything that can be named by a noun. That Lera have told in the video about how speakers of different languages think differently. But of course, that's not about how people elsewhere think. It's about how you think. It's how the language that you speak shapes the way that you think. And yeah. Question number two. In what aspect or what kind of ways the difference between one language and another? Some languages have different sounds, They have different vocabularies and they also have different structures, and very importantly, different structures. Language can have big effects, like we saw with space and time, where people can lay out space and time in completely different coordinate frames from each other. Language can also have really deep effects. That's what we saw in the case of number. Language can also have a really early effects, what we saw in the case of color. Language can have a really broad effect, so that the case of grammatical change. And summary for this video. There are about 7,000 languages spoken around the world. It's have different sounds, different vocabularies, and different structures. Yeah, and very importantly, different structures. Um, Language can have big effects, like we saw with this space and time, and deep effects that we saw in the case of number, and also early effects, what we saw in the case of color. Language can have really broad effects, so that a case of grammatical genre. The language guides our reasoning about events. They are really simple, basic perceptual decisions. We make thousands of them all the time, and yet language is getting in there and fusing even with this tiny little perceptual decision that we make. That means language can shape how you're thinking about other things that can be named by noun. Speaker or different from different language might think differently. It's how the language shape the way you think, and that gives you the opportunity to ask, why do I think the way that I do? Or how could I think differently? Okay, it is a really the last video. Oh, thank God. Okay, the last video. Thank God. Oh, it's about President Obama makes historic speech to American students. Yeah, because this is President Obama, so that's why I watched this video. Question number one, where the speech takes place. Wakefield High School in Arlington, Virginia. Question number two, how was Barack Obama education in his childhood? So when he was young, his family lived in overseas. He lived in Asia for a few years, and his mother, she didn't have the money to send Barack Obama where all the American kids went to school. But she thought it was important for Obama to keep up with the American education, so she decided to teach Obama extra lessons herself, Monday through Friday at 4 past a half in the morning. It was early for him, so sometimes he fell asleep at the dining table where he was studying with her mom. His youth and education was not as much as we imagined. Question number two. What the little thing that, what is that? What is the little thing that show us students build today future more brighter according to Obama in his speech. Okay, the students write their own destiny and make their own future. Can be something as simple as doing all your homework, pay attention to the teachers, listen to your parents and grandparents and other adults, and put in the hard work, paying attention in the class, or spending some time each day reading a book, involved in an extracurricular activity, or volunteering in a community, and so on. Question number four, and the last question. What is Obama's message to the students based on the video? He said that no matter what the student want want to do with their life, that he guarantee that children need an education to do if they want to be a doctor or want to be a teacher or want to be a police. You'll need a knowledge and problem solving skill You'll need the insight and critical thinking skill you gain in history and social studies. So never quit. If you quit on your school, you're not just quitting on yourself, but also in your country. So, after the government fulfills its obligation towards state education, then children must fulfill their responsibilities. In summary, uh, for this video, that Barack Obama put so many efforts to improve the quality of education in America. The efforts he was made include giving lectures on teachers' responsibility for inspiring students and encouraging students to learn. The parents' responsibility for making sure you stay on track and you get your homework done. To the government's responsibility for setting high standards and supporting teachers and principals and turning around school fulfillment of facilities and infrastructure to support teaching and learning activities, and so on. He hoped that students will continue to be enthusiastic, hard work, yeah, about learning and reach their goals, their dream for a brighter future of themselves and of course America. All right. Yeah, finally I've shared 7 videos to you guys. I hope it's a usable video. And I'm Dela. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.